done before lunch. Because you're going to need a bunch of numbers for all these terms we're going to go over in the morning. So we need to know what our pitch diameter is, how many teeth we're dealing with, what the diametral pitch is, the addendum, the dedendum, all this stuff. We've got to know it all. So there are charts like this in your text. I've kind of taken them out here and put them all in one place so we can get every number we need to draw this before we get started. Now there are formula for this. Okay. Let's see. I tell you pretty much where to go. Catalog, you go into the book. This is your Bertolini text on this page. Look for the formula. Again, same place. Here's your formula here, where you're looking at the diameter of your throat diameter is equal to the diameter of the gear plus 2 times the addendum. I would like you to crunch these numbers, because I want to check these after lunch. And we'll do it as a group. But if you got any one of these wrong, you will never successfully complete this project. Okay. So we've got to go through and get all our data first. Okay, so finish those 2 from lunch. Now down on the bottom, other drawing data. There's a lot of stuff in here you're going to need. So make sure you're looking at it. The gear model is DD1403. The worm is going to be DH1407. We've got a catalog in here, by the way. We're going to use Wellman's odontograph for the tooth. Blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of it. Following that, okay, here's all the dimensions you're going to place on the thing. Go ahead and turn the page on that. We'll get into that more. You can look at it more in a little bit. This cutting chart generally goes with the gear drawing. And so you will draw this and put this on the drawing. Okay, it's just a chart. It's like a schedule, right? A window schedule. Okay. So in essence, what we're doing here is telling the fabricator how to cut the tooth. This will be all that technical information they need. Turn to the last page, please. Here's that same terminology that you talked about. They call this top part the worm gears, cast iron, half-inch face, but this really isn't the worm gear. This is a spur that goes with it. We're using DB1403, right? This one? Okay, so that's going to give you a lot of things, your cost, teeth, pitch diameter, the hole, the hub projection, this guy right here, your outside diameter. All that comes right off of this catalog. That'll go back to those numbers you're trying to generate. If you go to the bottom, this is your worm gear that goes with that. It's a match set. You're going to use DH1407, this one right here. And again, you've got pitch diameter, face length, the hole, the hub, the keyway. All that is part of that. Let's see, anything else here? I think that's all you need for right now.
That's it? Jeez.
I was thinking we'd start drawing on this afternoon, but I think a lot of people got their fastener drawing, right? Still to do? Okay, so what I'd like to do is you can work on your fastener drawing and getting all these numbers. If you're all done and you need to cut out, you can go ahead and do it or switch to something else if you're all caught up. But get those numbers done before lunch. After lunch, I'll come back together up here and we'll go over each number, make sure everybody's got the right numbers. Now, I'm not gonna crunch these probably, I know what the rights are, I'll have a little list of them. But I'll go around the room and say, Juan, what'd you get for this one? Missy, what'd you get for this one? John, you, just kinda go through just to make sure you folks have done your work. Okay. By the way, I did have one other gear, couple other gears we never looked at. This one, I just want to point out, this is a spur, right? It's an Acme tooth. It's worn. So kind of take that into account. You can actually see the tooth profile on the side that hasn't been banging into the other piece. This was probably driven by a chain, it looks like to me, where a chain was in there. But that's the shape of the tooth, is on the unworn side. This big concave side's where it mashed up with something else. But that baby would hold some force.
Yeah.
Big old teeth on that, but transmitting a lot of power. This one came out of a tractor. I can't remember what part it was on, but kind of a neat one to look at, and the damage that can occur over time. All right, with that said, I'll stop till after lunch. We should be able to go over your test tomorrow. Any questions for me? As you're moving through, if you're confused on a calculation, please feel free to ask.